you are starting us off, and you went after Yankees fans hard with this one and came up with Derek Jeter.
I not only went after Yankee fans, I went after Yankee sycophants. So
He's the
Derek Jeter,
captain, man.
he is the captain. And for all of these, we aren't saying these guys aren't great players. They don't belong in the Hall of Fame. It's none of that.
Right.
But Derek Jeter as the greatest shortstop of all time, not even close. He is he's an okay batter. He's got 3,400 hits, but he was, as far as defense goes, he was a well below average defensive shortstop to the point where he wasn't even the best shortstop on his own team.
You and I agree with that. The fact that A-Rod was not the shortstop on those Yankees teams boggles my mind. I mean, that was one of our conversations with
Yeah.
most underrated players. Alex Rodriguez is a defensive shortstop. It is arguably the greatest shortstop of all time and never gets the credit for it because of the steroids worth hitting.
And we're
But
not
he
getting into
definitely
this.
should have been the shortstop of those Yankees teams.
He should have. He should have. And if Derek Jeter is the captain, he looks at Rodriguez and goes, "You're the better shortstop. I'm moving over to third." But he would never, ever do that. He's got a 314 career batting average. He never, though, never hit more than 24 home runs in a single season, which kind of surprised me. Um, he was never considered the best at his position. He never won an MVP. He was always this guy that was a nice shortstop, but I would put guys like Robin Yount ahead of him. I would put guys like Ozzie Smith ahead of him. I would put guys like Cal Ripken ahead of him.
Now, just to stop you there, you said he only hit 24 home runs in a season. I mean, Ozzie, just to play devil's advocate here, Ozzie Smith never hit that many home runs.
No, but Ozzie Smith was by far, in the way, the greatest defensive shortstop, rather, excuse me, shortstop we've ever seen.
Almost a catcher twice
I
there.
almost said it twice. He was so good, he's making me stumble. Ozzie redefined how to play defense at shortstop.
Yeah, I'm not denying you here, and I do think that Derek Jeter's overrated. He was a Yankee captain. I'm not going to deny that. But just to play devil's advocate, since he's on your list here, he
Sure.
was a 14-time All-Star. He won 5 World Series. He had over 3,400 hits. He was a 5-time Silver Slug Award winner, 2-time AL Hank Aaron Award winner. I mean, the list goes on and on his
Sure.
accomplishments, and he was a World Series MVP and an AL Rookie of the Year.
He still was a huge defensive liability his entire career. He did not play the position well. Everybody remembers the one play
Flipped
where
it
he comes,
behind his
flips
back
it
to the
back.
catcher.
Great.
It's one of the greatest plays
Nice.
of all time.
It's a nice play. He had a surrounding cast for him that was second to none. I mean,
Yeah,
those
you can't
Yankees
argue that.
teams were amazing. So he never had to be that guy. And if
Right.
you let me ask you this, and this should solve this once and for all. If Derek Jeter played in Seattle,
Nobody would know who he was.
he'd never get the accolades he does. The only reason he gets put up there as the greatest of all time, which is ridiculous, is because he played in New York. So he's my number 3 on the list. And I'm sorry, Yankee fans, but I'm so tired of hearing you say he's the greatest shortstop of all time. He's not.
Listen, if we had 4, he would have been on my list as well. I completely agree with you. Again, he does have a lot of accolades, but the All-Star game, baseball players, you can't necessarily judge that, right? It's a fan voting. And the last one, he definitely
Exactly.
shouldn't have been there. He was voted in by fans because it was going to be his last All-Star game, and
I have
everybody wanted to see him.
I have no problems with the fans putting in who they wanted to see in the All-Star game. They did it for Cal Ripken. He had a
Right.
great last act in the All-Star game. But that's what it is. It's a fans game. It's not like it used to be when the AL and NL never saw each other and the
Right.
game really was played for pride. Talk about all-star moments. Pete Rose knocking out Ray Fosse.
Yeah, one of the dirtiest plays of all time.
Wasn't one of the dirtiest plays. It was just a hard-nosed play at home plate, but it did end Fosse's career. It's a play that never should have happened in an all-star game. I will grant you that. But different conversation. Derek Jeter, great player, Hall of Fame player, not the greatest shortstop of all time by
No.
any measure.
No, you could argue he's not even necessarily in the top 10 of all-time shortstops. I'm not going to argue. I agree with this. Like I said, he would have been on my list as well. Yeah, Hall of Fame player.
Yes, but not even the greatest shortstop on his own team.
Right.
Taking out the steroid era, if we're going to even talk about that, Alex Rodriguez, as you said, may have been, other than Ozzie Smith, the greatest defensive shortstop, and he may be at that Ozzie Smith level as far as defense.
He was unbelievable.
He really was.
He was the greatest player of my generation, with or without steroids, because again, the defense doesn't, or the steroids, I should say, don't help you on the defensive side, and nothing got by Alex Rodriguez.
Nothing at all. He was always in position. He made unbelievable plays. Derek Jeter would have been a great third baseman. He still would have been a Hall of Famer, and he would have shown leadership had he moved over. But that's my number 3 on our list.